Hey folks, and welcome to my second walk and talk from the centre of Caterham. So we're in the valley. We did the main Croydon Road walk before, and this, like the last one, is based on a brilliant Born Society book by Margaret Duck. So I'm using elements that I found there to do my research, and also I'm going to use a map from the 1950s time to help overlay and see a then and now kind of view of what we have. So we're going to start here in the square itself. I'm going to explore each direction plot-wise. So without further ado, let's get on our way. By way of a recap, we've got the Rawlings building over there, which is where the oldest shop in Caterham was. The William Garland pub, which was the old Surrey Hounds. William Garland being William Garland Soper, who was the father of modern day Caterham. Just highlights some of the businesses that occupied this main block, just moving along. So we had Oakshots Grocers were there in 1980. That was on the first building there, the KFC building. Then we had Barclays Bank, where the Donald and Pritchard solicitors are. There was a Cullen's for quite some time, 1939 to 1980. And Fine Fare and Shoppers Paradise were there. Vital Tone itself, the pharmacy, has been there for quite some time now. So usual thing. Lots of chops and changes, and in particular with the banks, many of them have closed down. But yeah, highlighting that building on the far left there, number 6, really, really lovely architecture. Even though there's a tree slightly in the way, I'll just give you another look back. All of this will be covered as we go through the video. I'm just going to pop down Timber Hill Road here. So we've got Caterham Police Station. I think this is a modernised building, although the older map does say police station and ambulance location as well. And this is St John's Ambulance specifically. I'm not going to go too far down here. I'm just actually going to pop over and look back, only because this vet I remember as Gates, Surth and Pooley. I'm pretty certain it was this building. And I remember we used to take our Cocker Spaniel down here to be clipped. But lovely building, as indeed is the one next to it, Meadowbank. So that was just my diversion. But yeah, these look to be much more modern built. 1980s perhaps. That was just a little diversion, just because it had a bit of a connection to my younger days. Funny how these little things stick in your mind. Probably because I remember how the dog was transformed by its trip to the vets for a clipping. So once upon a time there was a Westminster Bank on the corner there, and then Snow's the chemists. There was a Sainsbury's and Caterham Business Centre. J.J. Brown, the jewellers there, they've been established since 1921 in this location since 1986. I have to say, as if you follow my channel, and I hope you do, looking up can provide much visual pleasure. We do tend to walk around looking down nowadays, particularly with our mobile phones and the like. But if you're walking along a high street, just take some time to look up and you will be rewarded. So just picking out another couple here. So 14, the tandoori shop has been there, well, since the book was put together certainly, but probably since about 1988. And 16, which is Helena Fortley Bridal Boutique, that was the location of Goodness Records, which I remember well, and I'm sure many of you do. Pasha was the location of William Hill, the furniture company. We've got 1888 on the top of the building there. During World War II there was a civic restaurant in there where you could go and guarantee yourself a meal for a fairly small outlay financially. And I guess that's why it's lent itself to a cocktail bar now. I don't remember buying anything there personally, but I know my parents did. And it was a very well-known, almost a landmark here. And then we've got the Miller Centre, formerly the school, so that was the St John's Church of England school. So number 32, Crown and Pepper. So that was Henderson's, then Quartz Furnishers, then Odyssey and Surrey Imaging. So it's had quite some changes over the time, and then now Crown and Pepper. That rather beautiful black and white building there, when built as a private dwelling, it was called Sancreed. It had 4 bedrooms on the top floor, 2 bedrooms on the first floor, and various other rooms and a little bit of land out the back. But it always stands out well here when you're coming through. It's kind of its really great identity. And now it's various apartments inside there, but stunning structure. And the old map over the road just said garage. So it's quick fit specifically now. But often these premises would be repurposed as the same kind of thing again. Very functional building style of a telephone exchange. Some have a bit more of an architectural look to them, but this one's pretty basic, pretty standard, and as I say, functional. Try and find the best angle for St John's Church. Stands proud looking over the valley. I particularly remember as a young Cub Scout, we used to do the annual St George's Day Parade, and we'd meet in Beechwood Road, Beechwood Gardens, one of the Beechwoods, in a long line, and someone would be on flag holding duty. And we'd march through Caterham Valley, and then there'd be a service in the church here. Again, just one of those memories you remember well, and I'm sure any locals or former locals that know the area and were in other scout groups will remember that fondly as well. It's a beautiful day today, and this early morning light captures the detail on the church really well. This particular parade offers up a lot of, well, beauty and history. So we had the Hungry Toad restaurant, I think it was the first one here, number 19. And then we had Taylor's Pet Cabin and Hartley's. And IM White Orpington car stereo, all in this particular parade. Low-cost supermarket, there was a Dalgety down here. I really do recommend getting the books from the Bourne Society. You won't be disappointed reading through all the history. So whilst we've got older buildings there straight ahead of me, and then we pick up with older styles here, and what looks to be a really lovely Art Deco top to the bathing machine. So all about the symmetry. Lovely at the top, we've got the finishing sections either side. And then even down to left and right of the shop sign, we've got those little extra pieces of decoration there. So I'm guessing that is definitely an Art Deco style building, and really quite a beautiful one. Just popping back next to it here, we have a Bourne Society plaque, because during the Battle of Britain, Kenley was raided, and the building that used to be here was turned over to become the operations room. They were able to get the necessary communications in, and that was located here. This is obviously a more modern structure. But yeah, a piece of history, and pleased to see that marked appropriately with the blue plaque. Where I mentioned about premises being repurposed and the like. So Martin & Co, that's generally always been an estate agent's. Craft Stationers has generally always been a craft shop. And on the corner, looks like it's got an Italian coffee references in there, but that was a gallery on the corner there, which is now 42 The Green, up at Wallingham, which is where I started my working career when it was NatWest Bank. Funny how these things all connect. So this fountain is a very key part of Caterham history. The lamp was the first gas lamp in the town, and it used to actually sit, this whole structure used to sit in the middle of the square. So I'm just going to pan around and show you. So it was there where the roundabout is, and it was moved, it was actually moved to a recreation ground nearby in the 1930s, and then it's been here since around about 1989-91. So got this little section here with some chairs and a couple of boards there with some information about Caterham history, but this is quite something. And this is a church walk because it goes up the hill to St John's Church where we've just been. Now this first plot, number 1 Station Avenue, this is actually called Grand Parade. So this was the location of the original railway hotel from 1856 to 1902. I keep having to reposition myself to get the best angle. You've got the fountain over there in Church Walk, and the fountain's original location was here. So moving along, so the first building was where the railway hotel's original site was. It was there from 1856 to 1902, and then it moved along to number 7. And there were various premises also along there. World Stores, Icebox, Crystal Carpets is still there, which is great. Drapers, there was a Lund Poly. But the railway hotel, when it moved along, was there from 1897 to 1988. It was actually a beefeater for a while. And then it was demolished and the Church Walk shopping centre was built, which is there today where the Morrison's sign is. The original railway hotel had a couple of gargoyles at the top. When it was demolished, they were rescued, and pleasingly a deal was done, if you like, with the builders to put them atop the current building. I like that the properties have stayed intact. They've not found it necessary to demolish them. Lovely bit of detail up the top there. And as we've seen in many parts of Caterham, there's a mixed bag of styles. Represents building being done at different times, different builders' signatures maybe. Post office there, the mock Tudor style. And a Lloyd's Bank, and a bank in a high street nowadays is quite a rare thing. So we've got the Waitrose there, and next to it the railway station. So once this was built and first fully opened in 1856, really the town expanded, as happens a lot of the time with the railway towns and the railway coming in. In 1900 the station was rebuilt, and in 1989 there was a further refurbishment. We saw the florist come in on the right hand side there. end of the line here. There used to be talk of other connections to other towns, but it didn't quite happen. Next door there used to be guards' taxis with the picture of the guard, no doubt referencing the guards depot up at Caterham on the hill. And also on the corner here was Caterham Cars location. The original building pulled down. That went in the fairly recent past. Always like this place. GR Potton & Co. So, looking back, also I wanted to highlight East Surrey Museum. It's a brilliant local resource. See on the board there, the exhibitions of local history and archaeology. They've always got a really great exhibition on, and the general artefacts they have in here are very impressive. An old Victorian water pump there. The building was originally called The Cottage, built in 1867, 1868 as a private dwelling, but also doubled up as a dentist surgery and opened up as a museum in May 1980. So very close by. If you're in Caterham, you literally got the station just here on the left, and it's a very short walk to the museum. Thoroughly recommend it. We have the Soper Hall here, Soper Hall Community Centre. So on this plot of land, well, now we see the car park for Morrison's, but originally we had the council offices and fire station, and also nearby Eothen School. All have now gone. I'm just going to have a little glance round here at Caterham United Reformed Church. It's set out beautifully today against this lovely clear sky. Quite stunning. So we just got Hairstone Hill immediately, and then Hairstone Valley Road that leads to Caterham School on the other side. I won't be visiting those today. So I'm going to go about turn, and I'm going to walk through the car park, and I'm going to see you on the other side. So this is Church Walk Shopping. Very much the newer part of the retail shopping area of Caterham. I'm here fairly early on a Sunday morning, so don't be alarmed that no one's out shopping. Nice selection of shops here. Some specialist. Proves quite popular because you can do your grocery shopping and other stuff and grab a coffee, and all within a stone's throw from the station. So it's a great little town if you don't need to go too far to get stuff. That ends the walk and talk to explore Caterham Valley, kind of part 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. I recommend getting the book. So it's Margaret Duck's book from 2005 on the Bourne Society site. I'll put the link in the description below. Please like the video, it helps with the algorithm. And also, if you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, please consider doing so. I'd really appreciate that. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.